All right. Good evening, everybody. I'm just doing, I guess, a daily check-in, and just kind of talking about where I am today. So, in a nutshell, for the most part, y'all, I I feel defeated sometimes because I'm not able to do the things that I would typically do. I can't really do a lot of things independently. Um, I'm not as productive as normal, and I can't go or come and go like I normally would, because anybody that knows me knows that I'm always on the go and I'm always, seeking something to do. Um, and with that being said, because I feel like that a lot of the times, it makes me feel frustrated, and you know and a lot of times, y'all, when I feel like that, I just I don't even want to get out of the bed, because it's like, what is the point? You can't do anything. You're very limited as far as like in your capabilities. And, it kind of just brings me down, to say the least. Um, so it's taken a lot for me to really, y'all gotta get you some of this. This is like life. But it's really taken a lot out of me, in order for me to just kind of be still, if that makes sense. Because I'm not used to doing this. It's super, super frustrating when you just can't do, like the little things. So when I say little things, I mean, it may be things that you don't even think about. Like earlier today, I normally drink from like one of my Stanley cups, because it's just easier that way, and they hold a lot of water. And y'all, I dropped the cup on the floor, and I'm like, okay, how am I gonna get this cup off the floor? Nobody's here. So I'm trying to think of all these creative ways, in order to pick this cup up without, like further injuring myself. And, to some of y'all, this is going to be weird, but like between me, my daughters, and my granddaughter, we have this weird thing with our toes. Like, we can pick up stuff with our toes. So I'm literally trying to do that. But, mind you, I have these huge cuts on the back of my legs, and my legs, they feel, kind of weak. So I'm trying to do that, trying to grab it with my toes and grab the handle and lift it up, and I just kept dropping it and dropped it again and dropped it again until I was just like, you know what, F it, whatever. So about 20 minutes or so passed by, and I think I heard my grandbaby at the doorbell, and I was like, thank God, and she's like, honey, oh, you dropped your cup. You want me to get it for you? And I'm like, please, because I'm sitting here thinking like, girl, you're going to be thirsty as heck until somebody gets here. What are you going to do? All of these things. So anyway, that's my spill on that, just the frustration. And, like I said, just most things being an annoyance to me because I just can't, So the little things that, or most people probably, you take for granted, you just don't realize how important they are until you just can't do it. And, it that within itself just kind of, broke me down. So anyway, Tori's here. She's got the water, And she's like, honey, you know, do you need anything else? Are you hungry? You know, and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, no, you know, I'm good. I just want to, you know, drink the water and, you know, just kind of relax. And, you know, you may notice like during these videos, I'm kind of breathing a little hard. And like she says, I'm panting. And I'm like, okay. But she says, honey, can I ask you a question? And I'm like, what? And she's like, you know, not to be funny, but why have you not been able to comb your hair? You know, and why have you not been able to put on earrings? And I haven't seen you with like any jewelry on, you know. And she's like, you know, your pajamas are cute and everything, you know. The shorts are cool and, you know, the little nightgown ones are cool. She said, but, you know, like the ones you have on today, you know, and if you notice, the sleeves they are short. And so are the pants, right? Because, you know, they don't make this for, you know, us girls with these long legs or long limbs, right? So I'm like, okay. And she's like, well, you know, so what made you buy the pajamas that are like a yort? And I'm like, what is it? What's a yort? Like, what are you talking about? And y'all, when she told me, I cracked up laughing because she says, you know, they have like the pants that are like, they're shorts but pants, because yours come up like well above your ankles. And I'm just like, okay. You know. But anyway, that's the extent of my day. You know, that was kind of like the silver lining in all of the drama, her asking me that wild question, because she's like, you know, what's up with that? But anyway, I hope y'all are doing fine, and I will talk with you guys later.